Mr. Fink, are you going to follow Donald Trump's plan and get rid of DEI and ESG in your companies? BlackRock really is the opposite of Donald Trump in so many ways. You're authoritarian, you're anti-populist, you're top-down. Are you going to change it all in light of the U.S. presidency?
Can I ask you, Donald Trump has said that he is pulling out of the Paris Accord. Do you have any comment on that?
No, I think it's what he did before. I think we all expected him to do that. But I think that the marketplace is moving forward. Countries all around the world. And how are you doing? Good. How are you? I'm okay. Countries all around the world are going to continue to compete, and there will be a lot of jobs and a lot of products made, which I hope America isn't going to miss out on. So we're going to keep working.
How you doing, Mr. Steiner? How do you feel about Donald Trump pulling out of defunding and pulling out of
Rebel News?
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
How do you feel about Trump pulling out of the WHO?
Listen, I work in an organization where we don't have comments on when new governments take office. We will work with the new administration, as we have done with all other governments across the world, and then see where it takes us.
How do you feel about him cutting off aid funding for 90 days?
You have a badge?
No badge. We're just...
Anyway, guys,
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryan, can I ask you for your thoughts on Donald? Give me a word on Donald Trump.
I'm good. I'm good.
Are you optimistic that he'll be a good president?
I'm good.
I mean, I know you're
I
good,
don't like
but
doing walk and talk interviews. It's just not my style.
well, just give me a word. It sounds like you're resentful of the president. It sounds like you.
Trying to put words in my mouth.
Well, then put your own words in your mouth.
You're good at what you do.
Well, I'm not, because I'm not eliciting a good answer from you.
I'm a pastor. I'm a shepherd, living in a farm in the mountains. But I'm here to tell the people that there is something above us. They can be very influential, they can have all the power, but finally there's something bigger. And I believe that's Jesus, reason number one. Reason number two, Europe has cut its roots, and the tree with no roots going to collapse.
Yeah, I saw your tweet today, and I think you're actually right on that one. Elon Musk's wave was not obviously a Nazi wave. Why do you think so many of your former allies and so many of those that have been cheering on Hamas for the last 15 months, why are they jumping on it and claiming that it is a Nazi salute?
Don't know.
Do you think it's ironic that so many that support Hamas in the last 15 months are suddenly claiming that Elon is a Nazi?
Don't know.
Are things looking better now that Trump's in?
We'll see.
What's your gut, that things are going to get better now for Jews around the world or not?
God willing.
What about Australia? Do you feel like Australia's been let down?
Dramatically.
How are you feeling about Donald Trump's inauguration today? Is this finally BlackRock's chance now to make money off the rebuilding of Gaza, the rebuilding of Ukraine, now that the wars are all going to end? Are you excited to have somebody like Trump in there, or are you coping?
I'm a dad. You're f***ing wrong. You're a f***ing danger.
Oh.
You can f*** off.
How so? What's wrong about this?
Because you
Don't
know...
even bother. It's not even worth it.
Why do you want to sterilize kids? Here, you're on camera. Tell everyone why you want to sterilize kids.
This man is a danger. This man is a danger. You think he's a danger? Why? I think he's a danger.
Why? Why do you think he's a danger?
Can you just get out?
What do you think's a bigger danger? Sterilizing? Oi, don't touch stuff, fine. Don't. What do you think's a bigger danger? A grown man who's willing to sterilize kids, or a grown man standing up for the innocent children?
Don't say anything. It's not worth it.
Billboard Chris is standing there peacefully. You're the one who seems dangerous.
What are you doing here at the World Economic Forum?
You came from within the World Economic Forum. What's your capacity here?
If we can eat chicken and beef and fish and vegetables, why are you saying we should eat insects?
Well, it's not in every occasion that we can have beef and cattle and pigs and chicken. For example, if there are a few resources in water or if the food distribution for hay and stuff that these animals that we mentioned before need, then it can be challenging, and then it can be easier to just feed the worms or the insects with some things that are very easy to store.
How you doing? Quick questions. What's your reaction to Donald Trump, to the new presidency? Are you worried about the relations with Europe?
You've called for a crackdown on Twitter or X.
Mr. Prime Minister, you've said the rich and powerful the EU should look into the rich and powerful, but here you are meeting them. How does that work?
You've called for a crackdown on Twitter or X. What sort of censorship are you calling for? Tell us what you're doing here.
Thank you and welcome to the heart of darkness. We are ashamed of the WF here in Davos. We don't want them here. We don't want any globalist policies here in Switzerland. We don't want Klaus Schwab here. We don't want the WHO here. We are here to protest against globalist policy, which will rob our freedoms for good.
Gary, how you doing? What brings you here today? What brings you to the World Economic Forum?
I'm just having a walk down the front, mate. Just having a meeting with Janie.
Oh, how you doing, Jana? Janie, how are you feeling about the new Trump administration for Britain? Do you think it's going to be good?
I've got no comments.
No comments? What about Elon Musk highlighting the grooming issue in your country? Do you think that's a good thing?
Manchester United.
Oh, look at that! I've been. Was I not being useful before?
20 years now.
Mr. Quest, how you doing this time around? We had a great conversation last time. Are you going to ask critical questions, though? Because last time you said you did, and they weren't really tough ones. They were softballs.
Define a tough question.
One that the person you're asking really doesn't want to answer. I saw your interview with Klaus Schwab. It was gentle. It was like you were patting a baby's bottom.
What would you have asked him?
I would have asked him if this is in fact a giant lobbying scheme for the rich to get richer, because politicians come, there's no lobbyist disclosure, there's no checks and balances, there's no opposition, there's no independent media allowed in. I would have asked him if this is really as noble as he pretends, or this is just his way to become a billionaire. That's what I would have asked. What would you have asked if you were critical? Have you talked to Donald Trump since he was elected? Is the World Economic Forum a counterpoint to Donald Trump? Why are you running away from simple questions? Just answer a question. Have you talked to President Trump yet? Why are your bodyguards pushing away journalists, Mr. Fink?
They're simple questions. Is it that hard to answer a question that you need bodyguards and to swerve through traffic? Is the next 4 years going to be bad for business with Donald Trump in charge? Is peace the last thing you want on this world?
Which makes more money for you, war in Ukraine or peace in Ukraine? Ezra Levant's my name, Mr. Fink.
Did you just take a photo of you?
Am I supposed to be scared? Is that a threat, Mr. Fink?
Are you used to bullying your way through life?
No.
Now, can I ask you, did you fly commercial to get here?
Partway, yes.
Partway, and then what?
What do you mean, and then what?
Well, you're an advocate against climate change.
The badge, please. Excuse me.
Here. See?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mr. Steiner, I know we got interrupted by the pesky security. Tell me, are you worried that other countries are going to pull out of the? Are they going to pull out of the WHO or any other UN organization?
I always appreciate that you ask good and tough questions, but I also spoke to you yesterday, so.
But you didn't give me much time, so I'll walk with you. Are you worried that other countries are going to leave some of your organizations?
Not really. Multilateralism is, and the United Nations in its 80th year. Have there been moments of crisis and tension, disagreements? Yes, throughout these years. And I think we have seen last September at the General Assembly an example of how the world is still committed to trying to find solutions to problems. So am I worried about maybe individual countries? We should always be worried, but in principle, no.
And Europe needs to turn back to Christianity or to the values of Christianity. If you have no roots, you're going to collapse. That's why I'm here. Yeah, very simple.
At the heart of darkness at the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, I guess there are people who are good and there are also people who have an agenda who is not good. And I believe light is always stronger than darkness.
Well, why wouldn't you at least commend the president for his victory?
Yeah, I need you to send me the QR code so I can get in. Yeah. Yeah, just text me the QR code. All right? Yeah, well, I did check that email. Let me check that one. Hang on a second. All right, I'll call you back.
Don't you seem a little stingy?
I'm a little busy
All
right
the
now.
world leaders are at least congratulating him. You refuse to congratulate the president. That seems...
No, I refuse to talk to you because you're being obnoxious.
I'm not being obnoxious. I'm asking you a very simple, easy question.
Here's what I want you to do. Go on Bloomberg yesterday and look at my TV interview and use theirs.
Is it bad or good for BlackRock that the United States is inaugurating a president who achieves peace through power?
Is Trump good for business or not so good for business? Do you not think you have to answer the world to some of your backroom dealings here in the World Economic Forum? Do you think you're above any critique, any questions?
BlackRock makes billions from the taxpayers of the world. Do you think that you should be subject to any sort of accountability, answering the odd question on the street?
Are kids safe around you? How do you feel about Trump's executive order today? There's only two sexes, male and female.
You had a lot to say about 90 seconds ago, didn't you?
Well, there you go. Don't push me around, mate. Because unlike little kids, I'll push back. We know you like defenseless little kids.
Well, what do you think of it? So you had a bite.
That's good.
Are you going to finish it, or have you had enough?
So, because this is not to sugarcoat things, right? So in general, those bars are not super tasty, right? Regardless if it's insects or whey protein. And this one is the same. It's not the most tasty thing on the planet. But if I had to choose, I don't mind actually going for insects. Thanks, man.
Now you're giving out crickets to people. As you know, the World Economic Forum includes alternative protein sources in some of their campaigns. Are people taking these? Are they eating them?
No, they're disgusted. Exactly the reaction we are looking for. We have a Klaus Schwab sticker on the back. Eat the bugs, you will own nothing. That is to present directly to the people which the WEF policy will lead when there is no more meat, no more tobacco, no more cars, no more fuel, everything banned.
No fun.
No fun.
Do you think it was a good thing that Elon Musk is highlighting the grooming gang problem in your country?
I've got no comment, mate.
Really? Why not?
I've got no comment on Trump and Musk and all the rest of it.
So what brings you here, though?
What brings me here?
What is?
I'm a partner in the company with Janie.
Oh, what's the company?
Kinsella.
Oh,
okay. There's nothing dodgy.
Nothing
here,
interesting.
mate.
Nothing dodgy.
No, there's nothing dodgy here. Not for you, mate.
You are naive. I'm well aware this is now going to be cut, spliced, changed.
You said that last time, and it was not.
You are naive. Because if you do not think for 1 second that Klaus Schwab hasn't been asked all those questions a million times and has answers to all those questions, that is, you choose the question that is relevant for the moment at which you're asking it.
Okay, well, what's the toughest question that he doesn't want to answer right now in your mind, Mr. Conquest?
I'm not discussing that. I did my interview with him.
What was your toughest question this year?
I did my interview with him. I asked the questions that I felt were relevant for this particular year.
That wouldn't get you kicked out.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I'm not worried about that.
Well, you don't have to be because you're part of the team, aren't you?
Now you're just getting offensive.
Is that how you've lived your entire life without having... Look at this. Don't push back, mate. Don't push me, bro. Don't push me.
When was the last time you answered a question that you didn't know was coming? Why are you so unaccountable? Isn't that what you love about the World Economic Forum? You control everything.
Why do you think you deserve so much power? Hey, Avi Yemeni, should I be scared now?
Which of your former directors Do you want to run Canada? Mark Carney or Chrystia Freeland?
Push me, bro. What? What are you getting violent for, man? I could push just like you can, man. Look at these thugs. They fund wars around the world and then you question them. They try not only to intimidate you, but physically assault you. And you told us that you flew here privately.
Sorry, sir, we're not too, you know. That's how you get here.
No, but you told me, last year you got very upset that we implied that you took private jets. Yesterday you told us that you...
I'm not gonna waste my time with you.
So you said you travelled. What part did you travel here privately?
Thank you, sir.
Is it now worth it? Is it now worth it in the private sector? Is your carbon footprint worth it now?
We're not doing any
flying
interviews.
obviously private jets.
Can you disclose who your clients are? Don't you think that's relevant? You used to work for the U.S. government. Who do you work for now?
Question.
Shouldn't you disclose it?
I work in several capacities now.
John Kerry.
Can you name them, please?
Well, if you like that, I'll have my office put them all out.
I'm skeptical that you will, sir, with all respect. Can you tell me at least one of them? Surely you know.
Look, I'm not going to put up with your ridiculous...
It's not disrespectful. I respect you,
You
sir.
are. No, you are.
I'm asking who you work for because it's not known right now.
I work for Galvanize Climate Solutions.
And how long have you been working with them?
Full-time.
Would you have any idea approximately how many terrorists are part of the UN institution?
No.
Does that worry you?
No, because you're assuming that there are. I'm just saying I have nothing to answer.
In honor, there were several terrorists.
Those who can answer those questions, I lead the United Nations Development Program.
Doesn't it look a little bit weird that someone as rich, powerful, and smart as you can't answer any questions? Or is it that you just think you're above questions?
That's karma. Your security guard called that karma. Is that how you feel?
What's the end game for you? You're rich, you're powerful. What's next for you? Do you want to run for president one day? Or do you have bigger goals? Don't push me on the ice. You don't want a lawsuit now, do you? You are telling people verbally that there's bugs in here, but the rapper does not say that. Is there a rule in Switzerland that it has to be disclosed in a conspicuous way?
If it were so, then it would be written there. But it's not written there, so it's not necessary.
Are you feeling hopeful for the future now?
Of what?
The world. It's a new day, a new era, isn't it?
Is it?
Donald Trump became president yesterday.
Oh, sorry, I'm not across that really. I stick to...
You don't care about politics?
I do care about politics, yeah. But not really, to be fair, speaking about it in America. I've never spoken about American politics.
But doesn't it affect Britain?
You all right, you? You all right?
I wish I had someone in my life who was as loving as you are to Klaus Schwab.
I ask the questions that I think need to be answered at that particular moment.
But you don't rock the boat. You don't rock the boat.
Quiet.
Rock the boat.
Quiet. Quiet. I don't ask the questions that you think I should ask. Fine.
You're a regime journalist. You're not a skeptical journalist. You're part of the regime. Just admit it. You're not an accountability journalist. You're a helper, a fluffer.
Give it me.
No.
Give it me. I want to talk to the camera.
Okay, go ahead. I'll just hold it. I don't want you to break it.
I'm not going to break it. Ridiculous.
Okay, go ahead. I'll hold it. I won't.
No, I'll hold it. I'm not going to do it. I want to hold it.
Okay, we can both hold it.
Then I won't bother.
What's with taking photos of journalists who ask you prickly questions?
Who's more powerful, you or President Trump? Why do you think you're so disliked around the world?
Why are so many U.S. states divesting from your ESG schemes? Why are you putting your ideology ahead of your investors with ESG, Mr. Fink? Tom Steyer, he's king of coal. He made his money emitting carbon.
The whole world is emitting carbon. And
I thought you were against that sort of thing.
I am. That's exactly what we're changing.
Did he buy an indulgence? Is that what your project is? Take care. Go King Coal. Old King Coal. You're a coal man now, sir. A coal man.
I am a clean energy.
You're a coal
clean
man.
coal energy hypocrite.
One of the themes of the event is rebuilding trust. Do you think that answering the odd question would rebuild some of the trust the public has rightfully lost in large globalist organizations like the WEF, but also BlackRock?
Is this how you plan to rebuild trust?
I said it's an energy bar with insect protein as a protein source.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That's funny.
Now, would you try it?
I think I won't.
You adore power. You don't challenge it.
Say it again. The viewer will make up their own mind.
To support our trip here and to see all of our reports, go to wefreports.com.